Welcome to the shadow frequency, where the veil between this world and the next grows thin, and the things that whisper in the dark are given voice. From the cryptic candlelit studios, deep in the Indiana forests, your host, Matt Wilson, and his spectral producer, Juniper Ravenwood, unearth the forbidden, the forgotten, and the fearsome. So, still your heart, dim the light, and listen closely. For once you tune into the shadow frequency, you may never tune out.
This thing gets stickier every day. You'd think by now the ghost would have lubricated the hinges.
Yeah, but then you'd miss out on the workout. What are you digging for this time?
Huh, now this is weird. There's a tiny glass jar back here and it's filled with fog, like actual fog.
Fog in a jar? That's new. There's a label on it?
From the road to nowhere, handwritten, kind of shaky, like whoever wrote it was in a hurry or didn't want to be seen doing it.
Let me see that. Yeah, it's sealed tight, probably for a reason. Don't open it.
You always say that.
And one of these days you'll thank me for it when something doesn't crawl out and whisper your name backwards.
I'll put it with the rest of the Do Not Open collection, right next to the humming cassette tape and the jar labeled Tuesday. All right, let's see here. Here we go. Episode 233, The Tangier Incident.
Tangier, as in Morocco?
That's the one. 1950s cafes, foreign agents, mysterious disappearances, and one man who claimed he met someone who shouldn't have existed at all.
The kind of story that starts over coffee and ends between worlds.
Just another night on the shadow frequency.
Tonight, the Tangier Incident.
Keep your passport handy, you may not come back the same.
You are tuned to the shadow frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. Hosted by Matt Wilson, produced by Juniper Ravenwood, with Chris Beach. The darkness continues.
Imagine a city suspended between worlds, where the air tastes of salt and secrets, and every shadow hides a doorway to somewhere else. Tonight, we step into the haze of the 1950s. Tangier, Morocco, a place where spies whispered in doorways and the clocks themselves seemed to hesitate. A British journalist sits at a cafe table, cigarette burning low, warning his companions that he's about to step out of time. Then mid-sentence, he's gone, vanished. Only static crackling from a radio and a half-smoked cigarette left behind. Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, episode 233, The Tangier Incident.
Oh, Juniper, you're painting Tangier like it's a fever dream I never want to wake from.
Good, because once you're in, there's no stepping back, Matt. The file's open. Take us there.
Thanks, Juniper, for dusting off another gem from that creaky file cabinet of yours. Let's dive into the Tangier Incident, a case that still sends chills through the darkest corners of paranormal lore. Picture this: Tangier, 1956. The city's an international zone, a chaotic crossroads of Europe, Africa, and everything in between. Spies, smugglers, and occultists rub shoulders in the smoky haze of cafes like the legendary Café de Paris. The air hums with danger and mystery, as if the city itself is alive, watching, waiting. Our story centers on Alistair Crane, a British journalist known for chasing stories no one else would touch. Crane wasn't just reporting on Tangier's underbelly, he was obsessed with it. His notebooks, later recovered, were filled with cryptic phrases, folds in the hourglass, meetings that won't happen in this century. He'd been digging into rumors of time distortions in the city, strange moments when the world seemed to stutter. Locals whispered of a magnetic anomaly beneath Tangier's streets, a force that bent time like light through a prism. On a humid night in October, Crane sat at a corner table in the Café de Paris with two colleagues, both expatriate writers. He was agitated, chain-smoking, his eyes darting to the square outside. "I've seen it," he reportedly said, voice low. "The shimmer. It's coming for me tonight." His companions laughed it off. Crane was known for dramatic flair, but he pressed on. "I'm going to step out of time itself. You'll see." Then it happened, mid-conversation. As he reached for his coffee, Crane froze. His hand hovered over the cup, trembling. A faint haze, like heat rising from the cobblestones, enveloped him. The cafe's lights flickered. A radio in the corner spat static, loud and unnatural, drowning out the clink of glasses. When the haze cleared seconds later, Crane was gone. His chair was empty. His cigarette still burned in the ashtray, a thin wisp of smoke curling upward. His coffee was untouched, steam still rising. The square outside fell into chaos. Streetlights dimmed, then died. Car engines stalled. Witnesses swore they saw a ripple in the air, like a mirage, near where Crane had been sitting. One waiter claimed he heard a sound like a clock striking 13 before the lights came back. Crane's colleagues were frantic, searching the cafe, the alleys, the docks. Nothing. Alistair Crane had vanished, as if the city had swallowed him whole. His final notebook, found in his rented room, was a labyrinth of madness and insight, sketches of spiraling hourglasses, coordinates pointing to a forgotten riad in the Medina, a single line, scrawled in frantic ink: "The lost hours are calling." Locals avoided that riad for years, claiming shadows moved inside without a source. Some said Tangier itself was a gateway, a place where the veil between eras thinned to nothing. And the strangest part? Decades later, in 1978, a photograph surfaced in a Paris archive. It showed a man, unchanged, down to the scar on his left cheek, standing in a crowd in Tangier's Grand Sacco. The date on the photo was clear, 1978, 22 years after Crane disappeared. The man was staring straight at the camera, as if he knew. Imagine being those colleagues, watching a man dissolve into thin air, knowing he predicted it. Tangier's shadows hold secrets we're not meant to unravel, but we're going to try. Juniper, what's flickering in your mind right now?
I'm picturing that cigarette still burning, Matt. Like time stopped for everything but the smoke.
Exactly. Hold that image, listeners. Juniper, take us to the break.
We're only halfway through the Tangier incident, and I'm already checking the corners of my room for shimmering hazes. What about you out there? Are you leaning into the mystery, or is something about this taste making your skin crawl? Stick with us. Chris Beach has a quick word, then we'll dive into the mailbag and the second half of this temporal nightmare. Chris, you're up.
Sure, Juniper. Quick reminder, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow the Shadow Frequency on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and any podcast app you use. Our home base is shadowfrequencypodcast.com. You can stream every episode there, read our new Shadow blog posts, grab some paranormal merch, and even drop us a voicemail. Let us know where you're listening from, and we just might play it on an upcoming show. And if you're enjoying what we do and want to help out, consider buying us a coffee. We truly appreciate the support. Back over to Juniper.
All right, let's crank up the spectral cosmic message materializer, flipping the switches, dials glowing red. Here we go, a faint signal's cutting through the static, a message drifting in from the void.
Message retrieved from the void.
Let's crack it open and see what's waiting for us. The This one's from Gail in Wisconsin. Says, hi, Matt and Juniper. I'm Gail from Wisconsin, and I just had a ride in. Most nights after dinner, I'm in the kitchen loading the dishwasher and wiping down the counters, and the shadow frequency is my go-to companion. Something about hearing that theme kick in makes the whole cleanup go faster, like I've got company while I'm scrubbing pots. I listen on Spreaker, usually on my phone propped up against the paper towel holder. The conspiracy episodes are my absolute favorite. Media psyops, secret programs, lost files, all of it. I love how you two connect the dots without turning it into a lecture. It's spooky, smart, and a little mischievous, which is exactly my vibe while I'm battling casserole pans. Keep the listener mail coming, and please never retire the file cabinet bit. It cracks me up every time. Thanks for making mundane chores feel like late-night stakeouts. Listening from the shadows, Gail, Wisconsin. Gail, you're making dishwashing sound like a covert op, and I'm here for it. Propping the phone against the paper towel holder, that's commitment. We'll keep the file cabinet creaking just for you. Listeners, send your own shadows to shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. Matt, let's slip back into Tangier's haze.
You are tuned to the shadow frequency, where every whisper tells a story from beyond the veil. The darkness continues.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency. We're deep in the Tangier incident, where Alistair Crane vanished in 1956, leaving behind a burning cigarette and a city full of questions. Let's dive deeper into the aftermath and the shadows that still linger. Tangier in the 1950s was a magnet for the strange. Its international zone status meant no single government held sway, making it a haven for spies, exiles, and those chasing the occult. Crane's research pointed to a magnetic anomaly beneath the city, a geological quirk some claimed warped time itself. Locals told stories of lost hours, moments when people wandered the Medina and emerged hours later with no memory of where they'd been. Sailors swore their watches stopped near Café de Paris. One smuggler claimed he saw his own shadow lag behind him by seconds, like it was stuck in another time. After Crane's disappearance, the cafe became a pilgrimage site for paranormal seekers. People reported faint whispers in the static of radios, words that sounded like Crane's voice. A British diplomat in 1962 claimed he saw Crane, or someone who looked exactly like him, walking the docks at midnight, untouched by age. The man vanished before he could be approached. Then there's that 1978 photograph. The Paris archive offered no explanation for how it ended up there. The man in the image wore the same tweed jacket Crane was last seen in, the same scar on his cheek. Was he trapped in a loop, stepping in and out of time? Or had Tangier's anomaly pulled him into a place where 1956 and 1978 were the same moment? Now, for a moment of pause. Some have tried to ground this case in reason. Skeptics point out that Tangier was a hotbed of Cold War espionage. Crane, digging into secrets, might have crossed the wrong people. A staged disappearance, slipping away with help from spies or smugglers could explain the vanishing act. The haze? A trick of lighting, or maybe a smoke grenade for cover. The photo? A doppelganger, or a hoax to keep the legend alive. Even the electrical failures could have been a power surge, not a temporal rift. It's a tidy explanation, but it doesn't account for the cigarette still burning, or the way witnesses describe Crane's face, calm, almost serene, as he faded away. Yet the stories persist. Modern visitors to Tangier report glitches, phones losing hours, compasses spinning wildly near the old international zone. Some claim the Café de Paris still carries a faint smell of Crane's brand of cigarettes, even though the place has been renovated a dozen times. The Tangier incident has become Morocco's great unsolved mystery, a tale of dimensional rifts and a city exists half in our world, half in another. Alistair Crane stepped into the haze and never came back. Or did he? Waiting in some kind of folded hourglass for us to find him. Tangier's still out there, listeners. daring you to look closer. Juniper, what's your final take?
I'm torn, Matt. That photo's haunting, but a spy vanishing act? It's almost too neat.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not booking a trip to Tangier anytime soon.
Smart move, Juniper. Close us out.
What a ride through Tangier shadows tonight, from a journalist's scary prediction to a photograph that defies time. The Tangier incident reminds us some mysteries refuse to stay buried. Thank you for joining us on The Shadow Frequency. Send your own strange tales to shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. And you can find us on our website at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. And of course, all the usual podcast haunts. We'll be back next time with another case that'll keep you checking the clocks. Matt, you want to say goodnight?
Good night, listeners. Keep your eyes on the shadows and your watches wound tight.
Until next time, this is The Shadow Frequency, signing off from the static.
This episode was conjured with a solemn vow to explore the unexplained while remaining bound to the truths that have been unearthed. All interpretations are speculative and offered only for your enlightenment and your entertainment.